Pledge of Allegiance, Councilmember Richardson.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Larkey,
Here.
Councilmember White,
Here.
Councilmember Powell,
Here.
Councilmember Pryan,
That's you.
Here.
Councilmember Kraft,
Here.
Councilmember Clark,
Here.
Councilmember Goff,
Here.
Councilmember Lawson,
Here.
Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
We have a quorum. Personal appearances. Seeing none. Consent agenda. One motion non-debatable to approve recommendations noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinances. A motion approving the final reading of Bill 2022-53.
An ordinance approving an administration fee agreement between the Missouri Department of Social Services Health Net Division and the City of Belton, Missouri to receive federal funding for uncompensated costs of providing emergency ambulance services.
Present.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes.
Councilmember Goff,
Aye.
Bryan,
Aye.
White,
Aye.
Richardson,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Powell,
Yes.
Kraft.
Aye.
Motion carries. B, motion approving the first reading of Bill 2022-55.
An ordinance amending sections 10-1 through 10-14 inclusive of the Unified Development Code related to the adoption of 2018 International Building Codes and the 2017 National Electric Code with local amendments.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or information? Go ahead.
I got one question for Matt. I mean, I'm assuming people are currently doing construction and they presented 2012 on their plan designs. They stay with that until this is signed by the mayor, then anything moving forward be 2018, or is that?
Yeah, so anything that's been approved under 2012 will need to be built under the 2012 code, unless they make some amendment and come back and have their plans re-reviewed. Once this has been approved by council at the end of September, then they could, a builder or architect could submit under 2012 or 2018. After January 1st, all building plans must be reviewed and approved under 2018.
I mean, this is your expertise, so I'm gonna, if somebody does something based off 2018 guidelines and not 2012, it's still gonna be, it's better for them, right? Is that, I mean, is that gonna hurt them if they did, I guess I'm thinking it's gonna be stricter on them if they did 2018 and 2012.
Most items aren't really changing between 2012 and 2018. There may be some things that are a little bit more restrictive. But yeah, 2018 would be the better code. If somebody's building, it's more just a higher quality code.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to say you did a great job, you and your staff. This was a lot of work, and hopefully it gets all approved. But on section 6, or I'm sorry, on page 27, International Plumbing Code, section 410.4, it says that instead of, not instead, but as an alternate to water fountains, you can use plastic bottle distributors or water coolers. And to me, that's going in the wrong direction from what we're trying to do, U.S.-wise anyway, to reduce plastic pollution. So I'm wondering why we're going in the opposite direction, or maybe it's just a spelling change from what it was before. But is that an actual conscious addition that we're allowing businesses to have plastic bottle dispensers and plastic water jugs?
So the items that are included in here for recommendation are either items that we are currently have amended in 2012 code, or they are items that were also recommended regionally. So it would be something that would be in keeping with what other communities are doing. And it may just be that there are certain use groups in the code that would be allowed to do that. So those are likely smaller occupancies where they may not have restrooms, for example, that are open to the public. So, for example, just smaller offices
Okay.
may be allowed to have that exception, but that wouldn't apply to every business or every occupancy type.
Okay.
Reading this, it sounds like to me that bottled water dispenser is something you can go put a bottle or something up to and it fills it up for you. I've been seeing them around, we got them in schools and everything, but you can.
We got them at the community center
You
too.
can even take something like Allison's got and go fill it up at this dispenser. I don't think it's dispensing water, plastic water bottles per se. I think it's just a mechanism to fill up a container, so that's probably a nomenclature, I would say.
Yeah, if you go to the community center, they have a fountain, and then above the fountain, you put your water jug underneath there, and it gives you water without trying to put it the old way we used to do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe it should be clarified, but and I know we don't want to go against international plumbing code, but reading it a couple of times, it just seemed to me that what you're describing is an upgraded drinking fountain, and this is something else, but maybe it's not. But my second part of the question, there's no way to really see how this fits in. Do we have anything online? I know you do, but do we have any online link to any of these codes that we're amending?
We do not have, there's a subscription that somebody would have to pay to have those online. We do maintain copies of the code book in our office, so somebody is welcome to request to review that at our office.
Okay.
Each code book is fairly thick, so it's not something that we publish online, and the International Code Council does have that for a fee, but residents or anybody's welcome to review those codes in our office.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilman, I don't believe there are any cities that I know of that have that linked to their website, the entirety of all of the different code books, because of their length in the subscription service.
Sure.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. You might be able to find one, but
Yeah.
I don't know of any that do.
Well, if we know we can come in and, with an appointment, of course, and look through something special, then I agree with that.
Yeah, the fire code's probably that thick, and then there's a book about that thick to explain the book that's this thick, so.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the building code's the same way, so. Anybody else? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. C, motion approving the first reading of Bill 2022-56.
An ordinance amending sections 16-1 and 16-2 of the Unified Development Code related to the adoption of the 2018 International Fire Code with local amendments.
Present.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? You want to say anything, or? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. D, motion approving the first reading of Bill 2022-57.
An ordinance amending sections 10-138 and 10-139 of the Unified Development Code related to the adoption of the 2018 International Property Maintenance Code with local amendments.
Present.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On page 67, it sounds like when you're talking about no commercial vehicles on any residential property. Again, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but it seems like anything from a semi-truck, which I've seen in a driveway, all the way to a little minivan with a magnetic sign on it, those are not allowed anymore to be parked in people's driveways overnight. That's on page 67.
Do you mind what page of Exhibit A that's on?
Page 5.
Oh, yes, Exhibit A, page 5, yep.
Yeah, so these, I don't believe that any of these are changing from what's currently in the code. This also matches what's in the UDC, where you're not allowed to have a commercial vehicle parked in residential property. The way that that has been interpreted is if it is a licensed commercial vehicle under the state, it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be a residential vehicle that's used for a business. So, for example, a contractor who has a pickup truck or a minivan that has it signed because they have that they run a business out of their home doesn't mean that they wouldn't be able to park that vehicle there. This is more of a commercial grade vehicle, whether that be a tow truck or a semi truck.
Oh, well, doesn't read that way. I mean, it says no person shall park or allow to be parked a commercial vehicle, period. Doesn't say anything about licensed commercial in Missouri or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says, hey, we don't want any signs in people's driveways, particularly if they're on your cars. But the way it reads to me, it's pretty restrictive. And it'd be a full-time job for the codes inspector or the police to police this.
And we do define commercial vehicle elsewhere in our code, so that is the definition that we use for that.
Okay, so the commercial vehicle is
Commercial
a
vehicle.
step up from just any guy randomly printing signs in his...
Yeah, commercial vehicle does not necessarily mean business vehicle.
Okay.
Hey, Councilman, we have it in code that the term commercial vehicle means it includes every vehicle designed, maintained, or used primarily for the transportation of commercial property, persons, or goods which is licensed by state authority in excess of 12,000 pounds. So that's a fairly narrow. I mean,
Okay,
not
so it's
super
just the
narrow, but
semis that should be reported, not
big
the...
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. E, a motion approving first reading of Bill 2022-58.
An ordinance amending sections 20-5, 20-6, 26-5, and 28-8, Chapter 30, and Appendix B of the Unified Development Code to modify existing regulations and adopt new regulations to improve the effectiveness of the code.
Present.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolutions. Motion approving Resolution R22-100.
A resolution approving a contract for services for the Hargis Gardens Drainage Improvements Project with VF Anderson Builders, LLC, in the not-to-exceed amount of $2,717,792.95.
Present.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Is this taken in on the south side of 58 too, or is this just everything going to be on the north side of 58?
This project is in between Mill and Sunset, just to the east
Oh.
of the school.
Okay.
This is where we're going to build our detention pond, where we bought the subdivision, the unbuilt subdivision, and we're going to build a detention pond there, and then there's additional 4 culverts that go with it.
I guess I don't think of that as the Hargis Gardens area to me, but I think of that as the Sunset Hills or
So for us, the Hargis Garden drainage area is basically everything that's going from Hargis Lake all the way down to the south end of Cambridge. And so, you know, we've had different names for it. Some people call it Spanish Villas, some people call it different names, and so I'm sorry for the confusion.
That's why I was
on that.
asking if this is on the south side to just make sure everything was.
No, so this is one piece of the puzzle. So this is going to build. We're trying to get the pond built this year, and then in the spring build the culverts across the roads.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead.
The creek, I guess, for lack of a better term, behind used to be called Hillcrest. Is that included in this?
The creek behind Hillcrest.
Well,
Hillcrest
It's-
School.
yeah, Hillcrest School.
It's what the pond dumps into already.
Okay, so we're going to work from 58, and this is another project we're going to build from 58 in that creek down to Mill, where this lake is at, and then the creek that goes down between, I can't remember the 2 street names off the top of my head, that leads south of there, we're gonna work on that one in the spring and replace the culverts through there. And then from that point south hits where the Cambridge culvert is right now.
So this one does not include right behind the school?
It's right behind the school and the old soccer field.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
No,
where it's
he's
at.
talking west of Hillcrest,
West
Okay.
Cambridge.
between 58 and Mill.
Right,
It's just,
No, we're not working in there right yet.
okay.
Different project. Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City Council liaison reports.
Yeah, I've got some parks updates. Cleveland Lake is back open after it was contaminated due to a sewer line break. Everything's checked out with the state on E. coli levels. They are hiring an aquatic center supervisor as we bring pool operations back in-house effective December 1st. They're getting ahead of that and getting some staffing in place. So if you know anybody interested, have them reach out to Parks, reach out to High Blue. I'll briefly touch on Parks events related to this weekend and leave the bulk of it for you. But on Sunday, there's a special Sunday version of the farmers market, and I believe they are still accepting vendors for homemade goods and things like that. So you can reach out again to High Blue if you're interested. And then the final event of the 150th weekend is the cruise night. The typical monthly cruise night will be 3 to 7 p.m. this Sunday on Main Street. And then one other park event next month is the Carbecue. So cars and barbecue, who doesn't love that? And that'll be Saturday, September 10th. So if anyone's interested, definitely follow Parks and Recreation, Belton Parks and Rec on Facebook for all the details, or reach out at High Blue.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to make one quick comment. On the lake Cleveland Lake that got some sewage that got put into it, was not because of a break. It was because people flushed what they call flushable wipes. They're not flushable. So those flushable wipes actually came together and clogged the pipe, and then it caused the sewage to back up to the lake. And so we had to go through to clean out the pipe, and then everything flowed right through. But once again, we had this problem over on Cambridge where it got one of our lift stations, and this was another example of where flushable wipes are not flushable, so please don't flush them.
Thank you.
A quick question, is the Carbecue, is that in conjunction with Fall Festival?
What dates are Fall Fest?
September 10th?
Yes.
Okay. Da-da-da.
do they need judges?
I already am one.
I'll volunteer you both. There you go.
I already am doing it, so.
I like eating.
All right.
Are we here that day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? You want to go or you want to go? You go first.
I am getting to talk about the 150th. It is this weekend. It actually starts tomorrow. Tomorrow it starts off with our Miss Belton pageant and a tea party. And then after that, we have a Children's and Pets Parade. It's there at Memorial Station. Then Thursday night, we have our official opening ceremony with our lovely dinner. And then we have activities Friday as well. And then Friday starts our carnival. Carnival goes all the way through the weekend. Friday we have lots of activities on Main Street as well, bubbles and a movie and bingo. And then we have at the high school the football game. Both places will have free dinner if you come out. And then Saturday, so many things. We have vendor fair, we have 5K, we have a parade, we have a fun center. So much. The train is going to be going back and forth between Memorial Park and Main Street, so people have transportation. And then we have live music on Saturday as well. Then Sunday we have live music again, and we have the car cruise and the things that Councilwoman Lawson, I can't talk tonight. I never can. That Councilwoman Lawson mentioned. I think that's it, unless I forgot something. I'm sure I did. Baking contest. We have a beard contest. We have a dunk tank that council will be in. There's a few
Some
exceptions.
council will
There's
be in there.
there's a few exceptions. Some of us are special.
There's still a lot of tickets left over for the dinner too, if anybody wants to come. good dinner and alcohol is included.
I think
Anything
that covers it all. It's gonna be amazing and fantastic, and I'm gonna sleep for 3 weeks after.
I saw you guys are still looking for volunteers. Is that still true?
We would love more volunteers. If people would like to volunteer, they're welcome to show up and volunteer. I would say go to the information booth or to the Belton Chamber office. The information booth is going to be right outside the Chamber office. If people want to volunteer at the last minute, you're very welcome to.
James, you have anything?
Once again, you have stolen Planning Commission thunder. We just approved everything we talked about at the last meeting.
I've been remiss in not filling you in on the TDD, which maybe some of you maybe need a little bit of background. So I know you're shooting for a fast thing, but I'm going to take a couple of seconds here. It's actually called the Belton.
You need.
Okay, Belton Cass Regional TDD, which stands for Transportation Development District, and it's set up via Statute 238, Missouri Statute 238. A district may be created to fund, promote, plan, design, construct, improve, maintain, and operate one or more projects or to assist in such activity. A district is a political subdivision of the state that has jurisdiction over transportation projects in the district. And the Belton Cass TDD was created in 2013. Basically, it includes a lot of Belton and just a little bit of Cass County. But there are, Mayor Larkey and myself are on there from Belton. I don't know most people are from Belton, but I don't know they represent Belton. A couple, I think, represent Cass County.
2 represent the county and 2 represent Mount Pleasant Township.
There you go. Okay. So that's 6 altogether. It has a budget around $2.5 million a year with assets around $4 million. Its income comes from a 1% sales tax and the Menard TIF. Not all the Menard TIF, but part of it. It's considering a bond worth $6 million for its one major project that's coming up, which they're right now working on. And Rokos can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're in the process of getting rights of way at Cambridge and Mullen for a traffic circle, moving utilities along Mullen to allow a 4-lane road between the railroad tracks and Cambridge on Mullen, and getting a bond for this project. The city employees, mainly Greg Rokos, provides the engineering and project work. So that's a summary, and the meetings are at 2 o'clock on Wednesday if anybody, the third Wednesday of the month, if anybody's interested in sitting there for 15 minutes. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I also want to,
Microphone.
it's on.
Talking into it, though.
At least I got one of the two. I also wanted to remind people that the national renowned Belton High School Jazz Band will be playing Thursday night at 5:30, right next door in the grass.
Perfect. Anybody else? Moving on. I only got, it's here. The birthday party's here. It went a lot faster than I thought it would. I just want to thank, first I want to thank Diane Huckshorn, Michelle Mellinger, and Angela Kraft, and the rest of the committee for all their hard work, for doing all the work to get this put together. So I thank everybody that was involved. So hopefully it'll be a good time. So that's all I have. Do you have anything, sir?
I do have a few things. I wanted to let everybody know we have our new Assistant Finance Director starting Monday. I do believe we've got the final, we got the water window positions filled as of today. Hopefully by September 12th we'll have full staff. Other than the halftime position we're going to put on hold for a while, our finance department should be full staffed as of that point. So looking forward to that. I couldn't come at a sooner time because we've got plenty to do to get our audit and everything up to date so we can get into the budget season. We also have a city communications team that we've put together on staff to try and help with communications with the public and be a little more intentional on making sure that the things that we are working on as a city are being communicated to those who pay for the taxes to fund the things that the city employees are doing. We have 9 HR director applicants we will be considering, so that's a high number, so it will have probably a 2-round process for that. The annex bathroom is out of commission, as everybody knows. Making sure the public knows that it's been out of commission because of some sewer issues that we're dealing with and handling internally, but hope to have that up and running here in the next couple of weeks, thanks to Greg and his crew. And then definitely excited about the 150th birthday celebration. And in addition to thanking the volunteers who absolutely deserve a lot of kudos and credit for all of the work that they've done to bring this together, I wanted to give a quick shout out to some of the staff. Our clerk, Andrea, has done a lot of work. Carolyn in Economic Development has done a lot of work. Our Public Works staff has done a lot of work. Police and fire there to support. Parks Department has done their part to support this, and it's been a real true team effort, and it's a real city celebration. And the folks from the city, the staff from the city have pulled together to make sure that we support that as a community, and so we're really happy about that. And that's all I've got.
Any council have any more communication? Go ahead.
I'll just add to the appreciation for everybody who spent time volunteering and staff who is putting in extra hours and longer hours or pushing off different projects to be available to make this thing happen. It's a really big deal to pull something like this off, and it can be really special. And so far, you know, people are excited, and it's going to be a really fun weekend. And thank you to everybody who's been involved, volunteered, paid, doesn't matter. It's really special to put something like this on. So thanks to everybody who has been involved.
Anybody else?
I'll just concur with Councilwoman Lawson said. I mean, putting on events, I always tell people if something doesn't go right, we're not going to know. So just smile, and we're going to have a great time this week, and I tell that to everybody. So I guess if an entertainer doesn't show up, we'd probably know something like that, but we're still going to have a good time. It's going to be 4 days, and I think this was pulled off in about 6 months, so that's actually a pretty short window, so kudos everybody.
I'll say the same thing. I've seen a lot of the extra hours put into this, the late nights so I think it's a great effort on everybody. I'm really looking forward to it.
That being said, items for review and discussion. Item A, Canon lease agreement for court copier. Should be on.
She might need a step stool.
Yes, I might.
You can roll it down.
Is it on? There we go. This item is was already approved in the fiscal year 23 budget for the court. The lease is expiring. We're going to be utilizing a cooperative bid from NIPA to sign another lease with Canon. It's the same cooperative bid that was used by City Hall. And we'll have the agreements coming soon to the council for approval.
Tell everybody who you are in case they don't know.
I'm Laura Ellis, the court administrator.
Thank you.
If you can, I do need a box. I'll get one next time. Thank you.
Any questions? You're good. Item B, Cambridge West Culvert change order.
I think everybody's aware of our project on Cambridge Road near Cleveland where we're taking out a culvert. We did run into some overages on the project so far, and we also are going to have to pay a delay claim to the contractor because of Spire's delay in moving the gas line. They're supposed to be out there this week to begin moving it. I'm hoping it should be done in the next week, and the contractor can get out there and get that job finished quickly. So, but that will be coming to you.
Any questions? Item C, Chapter 353, OTB applicant, 211 East North Avenue.
Yeah, I just wanted to provide a quick update that the Old Town Belton Redevelopment Corporation Board did meet on August 17th and unanimously approved the application for 211 East North Avenue for a Scooters Coffee. The location has been long vacant, and it's at the corner of Walnut and 58. It's been home to the Snow Cone shop for many years, so that will hopefully be a new Scooters location. They plan to invest $715,000 in the exterior alone. Notifications are going to go out to the taxing jurisdictions on August 29th, and the Scooters site plan will be on the Planning Commission agenda for September 19th. And the Scooters Old Town Belton Redevelopment Chapter 353 application will come before you all on the September 27th meeting.
Any questions? Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm so excited to finally have coffee on my side of town. Hey, I don't have to drive over. No, yay! Just so excited.
It's very exciting for the whole area.
Did you say Walnut and East North?
Walnut and
triangle down
58.
there,
Right next to Heartland.
where the old bus stop used to be.
Okay, well, I'm just looking at Google Maps and there's auto, places where they sell cars. CNS Auto Sales on one side and then Auto Now on the other side.
I think I got my streets wrong. I think I got my trees wrong. It's Chestnut.
Chestnut, oh yeah, there's a big triangle there.
My
I gotcha.
apologies. Yes, Chestnut.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's for scooters. Yeah.
All right, anybody else, any other questions? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to enter an executive session to discuss matters pertaining to legal actions according to Missouri State Statute 610.21.1, and to discuss matters pertaining to the leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate according to Missouri State Statute 610.21.2, and discuss matters pertaining to negotiated contracts according to Missouri State Statute 610.21.12, and that the record be closed and the meeting adjourned from there.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pryan,
Aye.
Kraft,
Aye.
Powell,
Yes?
White,
Aye.
Goff,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Aye.
Richardson.
Aye.
Motion carries. We stand in executive session.